Hey, Pollux. I'm doing good. How are you? Did you work 100 hours this week? You thought about the e-commerce site? Yeah? So Shopify worked out well for you, it sounds like, and then you went on doing it on Spotify. Oh, you kept on doing it with Shopify. Nice. Yeah, I've heard good things about Shopify. This is what I see. It looked like both went through. I haven't actually tried Shopify yet, but it's good to hear it worked out well for you. It's kind of like a pocket pick I have if I need to ever build an e-commerce site. That's kind of like what I would try out first. You just need to upload the product description and pictures, and it's all done. Nice. How long did it take you to set all that up? Rate shorten. Oh, now it's starting up. Hey, Lulu. They have 50 payment providers? Wow. The only payment providers that I've really heard of are Braintree, Stripe, and I knew Shopify did stuff. And I haven't even like looked into other payment providers besides those guys and like PayPal, but I guess PayPal and Braintree are kind of similar. I guess everything goes great. I'll make it from scratch. Nice. I think today what I want to start out with is creating this input field here. I think I already have an input in my UI package. I do. So I just need to style this. Box shadow looks really weird on that. Well, One weird thing is, like, it doesn't tell me what the border radius is for some reason. I can take a guess and say it's 5. ICC, you're starting when the new year start. That's when you're doing the 100 hours. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be pretty rough. You know what they say? Work smarter, not harder. Why am I getting this box inset? There's something that causes this, and I forget what it is. I forget. Remove border on input HTML. Yeah, that's the thing. It's more advantageous. Border 0 should be enough. In appearance, none. You want something that's sustainable. Ah, it's the border that's doing it. Padding 8. You did 90 once. So what is, if you do 100 7 days a week, that's 14 hours a day. There's 24 hours in a day. So that leaves you with 9.7 to sleep and do everything else. I thought I added padding to this. Padding 0.8 rims. It looks pretty tight still. Triple D. So now some of these input fields are going to take icons. So I'm going to make like an optional prop that can be passed in. Hey, PS Panasar. Pollux, you should look into. There's a book called Deep Work that's kind of interesting. All right. What's on the menu today? Today I'm starting with making this input field. Here's what it looks like so far. So I got pretty close pretty easily, and now I'm gonna add a icon right there. Well, I haven't actually read the book Deep Work, but you know how on YouTube they have those cartoon summaries? I watched the cartoon summary for that. Okay, HTML props. No, it still doesn't like it. I think I should just steal it from this. This is a really ugly types. I'm not gonna deal with it. So I don't really follow. So I guess he basically what Deep Work talks about a little bit is like you can only work like 2 to 4 hours of what he calls chunks of deep work, where you're like doing these very productive sessions where you're kind of like in the flow or in the zone, and then basically how you schedule your day to be able to do multiple sessions of those, and like those are where you're gonna get real work done rather than trying to just like continuously work a bunch, if that makes sense. I watched the summary a while ago, so that's kind of the gist of it, but I don't remember all of it. So the prop I want on here is going to be icon, and that's going to be a name of an icon. Here are the icons that we support. Also the Pomodoro technique. Yeah, that's another one. It's a little different strategy there, I think. That's something that I haven't really tried myself, but I always recommend people to try it if they have trouble focusing. So now I'm going to have a div, and then I'm going to have this inside of it. So now I'm going to say name, and we're going to say search. And we actually don't have the search icon yet, so we can go get that one. Is there a good way to use Storybook to create UI for both React Native and for React Web at the same time? I haven't had much success whenever I've tried doing something like that before. So I think there's definitely ways out there, right? React Native Web and React Primitives, but personally I haven't had much success when trying them, slash I always have concerns with using them that I don't like use them too intensely. Yeah. I basically I'm worried when I use stuff like that is that I'll just run into janky problems. Alright, so we should see an hourglass show up, I think, now. Should be icon. So now the goal is to get this icon inside of here. So to do that, we basically just need to change this. Instead of putting all this stuff inside of the input, we need to put inside of the container. Also, I'm not sure if this is exactly centered. Have you been streaming long? This time of day is much better for us over here in the UK. I haven't been streaming long at all. I think I can do uptime. There you go. I've been on for 20 minutes. This time I think it's going to be what I'm going to switch over to streaming regularly. I need to actually update my little thing in the description below, the little timer, because I've been liking streaming at this time a little better myself. So the color needs to be the same. So why don't we say background color white. And I'm assuming that's what this was. Yep, FFF. Alright, so that's looking much better. The icon still looks like it's kind of floating mid-air and not centered. Usually when that happens, flex and then either justify content fixes it or align items fixes it. Looks like align items is what we want. I guess the only other thing is now when I type, it's right up next to it. So that should be a padding of 8. Thanks for your video on Circle CI. I'm setting up a system using Jenkins. Do you have any experience with that? I have not tried Jenkins yet. but I imagine it's going to be pretty similar to Circle CI. I wonder how I got this little box to show up here. I imagine it's going to be pretty similar to Circle CI functionality, and Lerna is going to be helpful in both places. Interesting. Maybe I need to try margin instead of padding. Is the font weight bold right now? Because this looks fainter to me. This is B7C1. That's what I'm using. For whatever reason, it looks a little darker here, but maybe that's just my eyes. Oh. Because we're using Roboto. I don't think I specified that here. That's probably what the difference is. It's getting Roboto. Alright, I'm gonna call it good. Looks close enough. Alright, so we made a feature, I suppose. And this is in the UI package. And this is a styled input. All right. I'm not sure how that hover shows up. Okay, good. This is what I wanted to trigger. The next thing that I wanted to look at was this error. So sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. I'm glad it's coming up today. Also, I have no idea why an underline is showing up there. Oh shoot, now it's working. I wanted to see if I can get it consistently happening. So when stuff like that happens, it makes me wonder if it has something to do with the Next.js build, or like the development server or something is acting up. Translate this page. Alright, it doesn't look like I can consistently replicate it. The other thing that I wanted to take a look at was whether the syntax highlighting was still working with server rendering. Seems to be the case. Alright. So then let's go ahead and add the input field that I just created to this page. By the way, the page is literally loading right now, I think. I clicked on the button to change screens. We got this again. See if anyone has the same error that we're getting. I have no idea what this could be referring to. The DLL. Oh, it triggers every time it loads. This is not actually a one-time error. And we don't see the error in here. Just gonna click on some stuff. So it's actually preventing me from navigating to this page. It's always great when you search these issues and you run into an open GitHub issue. Cool, this guy's getting exactly the same thing we're getting. So let's try this resolution error that this guy refers to. So while this is loading, I'm going to be creating a modal today. So I'm going to go ahead and install React Modal as well. I wonder if it's bad to start the Next.js server while I have a dependency getting installed. Why not build a modal with React.portal? That's exactly what React Modal does, and it saves me from actually building it. Because it's not as simple as just doing React.portal, because you also need to, let's see if we can go to a page that has a modal. So, okay. Do I have a modal easily? Yeah, I do. Okay, so like take this modal right here. This modal was created with React Modal 2. If I hit the escape key, it closes it. If I click outside, it closes it. So that functionality would have to be remade as well, and so I'd rather have it use this library that handles that for me. So that's basically why I'm choosing these React Modal, is so I don't have to implement each one of those pieces. Because yeah, it's not too hard to just have a div that you pop up here, but some of the other stuff you're just going to be adding a library to get that to work anyway. Okay, looks like that DLL error is gone. Sweet. If I remember correctly, we're also going to have to add the types for React Modal. And what I'm thinking of for the modal is the new code review right now is so simple. It's really just 2 fields. Pick a title, pick your repository, that I'm going to put it in a modal for now, I'm thinking. And when you click it, the modal just pops down here. Alright, so I'm calling this create code review modal. It's kind of a lengthy name, but it's descriptive. So thinking about how I want this modal to work, it's going to be triggered when someone clicks the button here. And I decided I'm going to keep the state in this component. So we're not really going to take any props right now. So we're also going to render the button here. So this is going to be like a little trippy. Forget where I put the header nav bar. Hey Nat, party tonight, Ben? What kind of party? Actually, we want to keep the on click. Oh dang, is tonight the New Year's? I didn't even realize. For some reason I was thinking it was tomorrow. You just added a PR? Excellent one, man. I will look at this PR in 1 second. I want to just see if my modal pops up. And my modal did not pop up. So, okay, I just crashed it. Let's see if I remake this, if it works. Nice. compiling at 0%. Interesting. So the box shadow is not showing up at the top. Is that how it should work? It looks like there's a faint thing. Oh, you know what? The background color is different. See, how many days are in December? Yeah, there's 31 days. We got one more day. We got... Tomorrow will be the 30th. Then we have the 31st. We actually have a couple days, don't we? All right, let's check out your PR. Great. Okay, so you created a new component called icon button. Sweet. All right, and we have a new button style. I like it. All right, so you made a lot of changes to the code file. Comment, ComNet UI. All right, let's give this a try. Thank you for the PR. Now, I'm not sure if the UI package is going to detect and rebuild. We'll see. Okay. All right, so it looks like it... I noticed a few things. A, it looks like syntax highlighting broke. Hey, what's the auto-completion stuff in your terminal? That is fish shell. What are the benefit of using Visual Studio Code over WebStorm? The things I like about it is it's a little bit more lightweight. A, it's free, and they have a ton of nice extensions. They pretty much have everything that I want extension-wise plus more, and it's just a really nice overall editor. I just like the feel of it better, and it works really well, the auto-completion and all that stuff. So let's see if the auto-completion, if I do server-side loading, if it shows up. Yeah, so server-side loading, it shows up. See, I know what you mean. The one min is sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. It's probably not you. I think it's just a problem that I have, or that we have in general, not something that you added. Yeah, see, now it's working. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The other thing is this has a bar here. I want to see if I can get rid of that. But first off, I like it. That looks sweet, dude. Like that looks pretty sweet. All right, so let's say something. All right, let's give it a save. Refresh. Shows up. That's really cool. All right, so let's see. I want to reply to myself. Yeah, I haven't done the thing where when I actually create it, I update the cache yet. Nice. I like the little color coding there too. That looks really nice, man. I really like it. I like how it appends lorem ipsum to the end every time. Funny enough, when I added comments, it got rid of the bar on the side. Let me just refresh this and see if it's still there. Nope, it's gone. So let's see if I can get rid of the bar real quick when there are no comments. Oh, do I just not have anything in the Docker ignore for this? Okay. I need to add buttons to move to next, collapsed, all, and so on. It's a really good start, though. I like the direction of it, too. So I think I just want to change it to overflow X instead of overflow Y. Now, I'm not sure if that's enough. I don't know if I would want to say hidden there, though. Take a look at Fabricator. Oh, I don't have an account for it. Do you have like a screenshot? So the other thing is, I guess the default overflow is hidden. Yeah, let's give it a try. We'll see if we run into any problems with saying hidden here. We can probably remove it later. I can just log in with GitHub. Default is scroll. Awesome. Thank you, Nat. Oh, I didn't see that. That's such a janky button. Let's use this one. Login using Bugzilla requires multi-factor authentication. Aw. I'll have to look at it later. Huh. Scroll keeps it there though. I think I want hidden then. And we may be making a lot of changes to this. I'm just going to keep it for now and then come back to it at a later point, I think. All right, I'm going to continue on with the little modal that we have here. So first off, this thing is way too wide. So we can add custom styles. Alright, cool, that's much smaller now. Let's make the width like 600 and the height like 500. That looks pretty decent. We may want to add like an X up here. I guess I should get an icon for this. I should keep my material UI icon. This tab up. Let's do X. Maybe close. Yep, close. I don't actually want to say gray here. I think the color I want to pick is like one of the colors we're using over here. Maybe this one looks pretty nice. Maybe I should just do black though. Let's do OD, OD, OD. Alright. Let's make it more like 24. And to make it look like you can click on it, we can make it a pointer. And then we just need to push it all the way to the right. And I think maybe that will do it. Yep, that looks nice. So now I have a little X. I'm actually gonna say space between, and then over here I'm gonna say heading. Font size 18. I think font size 18 is font size 6 for us. And it looks like we have a padding on the bottom, or I guess I can do a margin bottom. And I'm gonna say 2 rims. By the way, I'm also gonna make the default of this open, so I don't have to click it open every time. That'll save us some time as well. The other thing is I want to make the background color whatever we have the background color here, and I forget what that is. Use my color picker. F9 FB FD 9BD 9BD. All right, now that pops a little bit. So the other field is kind of like an autocomplete field for the repos. Looks like we don't have on click. We can add that real quick. And this is going to be optional, so we're going to have a question mark there. Nice. So in our design, we can have these cards that pop up, and we don't need you anymore. We do have that information, though I think I want it to work more like a select field. Downshift is what it's called. What I'm looking for now is the examples, and we're going to pick the one we want. was fun. A little crash from code sandbox. So I need to toggle. There we go. All right, so this is an example that we were using. Kind of a fan of this style, to be honest. So what is the difference between those? It's a multi-select. Let's go with this example. I'm a fan. So we're going to use a generic here. That way we know what type it is. Actually, we don't have to use a generic. We know exactly what the type definition is. I'm going to say any for now. And then we're going to fill it in at a later point. I've checked again on my local PC in Firefox. I don't see the scroll bar. I think you need to check compatibility with all browsers. Interesting. I wonder if there's some layout problem then. I'm fine with leaving it for now and coming back to it at a later point. Example. Search your repos. It's more like pick your repo. So that's what our selection is. Let's see what their controller button looks like. I think I may actually want to just use that. I think I'm totally fine using this, to be honest. Why would this not have an on click? Oh, okay. That's totally fine with me. Heck, let's just use their arrow function. That's so easy. So simple. Okay. I think this is going to be my strategy, and then come in and style it if I want to. So you tried a custom repository. It was really useful. What do you mean by custom repository? Oh, you tried a custom repository in Typeform. Nice. So style components is a little wonky with that. Yeah, this is what I want to do, but it did not work. Well, the only problem, maybe I can get that to work, one man, but right now I'm kind of just copy pasting the example from them, and from them I mean Downshift, and so they're doing their styles like this, and object like. And not a string template like that. So does it work with the objects as well? What do you mean? Why would I not be able to overflow X hidden? Those are what you're gonna complain about? I know how to deal with you. Position. Border. Area palette, null. There we go. Now all the types are happy. Oh, Nat, you like the object type better? It's a very common problem in TypeScript. Alright, let's grab their item. There we are. Hey, Sim, the one and only. Oh, why do I have to do as hidden there? Because it's expecting a union type. So like, right? So that's a union type. It's expecting that, and what I was passing in is a string. This is a string. I'm casting it to the type hidden. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically it's a union type, and you have to cast it to itself, kind of. What are you working on? I think I just about have all these errors fixed up after this, and then I'll show you. Currently working on, though, TypeScript should understand this. No, it shouldn't actually. It thinks it's a string. It's one of those things that you kind of have to handle yourself. But what I'm working on is a marketplace for code reviews, and it's a website, and I'm currently creating a autocomplete like this. Oh, it's not showing up. Refresh. Oh, it's because I need to go back to this. So, and I'm using Downshift for that. Is active is selected. Wait, why is he doing this? Oh, he only adds this style if it's active. Got it. We can actually just copy pasta that bit. Can you pass it an array of styles? I actually don't know if that's just a... Yeah, it looks like that's... just a React Native thing that you can pass in like that. .03. All right, so now the style is what we're gonna pass here. Very annoying to see. Yeah, it is a little annoying. All right, CSS properties. And now everything's happy. What do you mean? Oh, it should be a boolean like that. There we go. So now get items. Why TypeScript can't read the value and do the math? I mean, the problem is the type is a string. You shouldn't be passing a string in. I'm not sure if there's a way to get TypeScript to like check it. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, we got nested ternary there. That's fun. And then it's going to be a node. So it actually needs to be an edge. We're going to assume the node exists. And so owner plus name is going to make this thing unique. You can even put a slash between it. So it's just like how GitHub does it. Also, this is not going to be, it's going to be git viewer edge, repo edge. There we are. And this is what I'm going to pass to my props. Input value. We need to pass the input value in. Or maybe we don't need to. Alright, now we can render this and see what it looks like. So I'm going to develop a VS Code extension to this. Oh, you're going to try developing a VS Code extension for it? Good luck with that. I think it will be an endeavor. Repo autocomplete. Alright, let's see what this looks like after all that work, if we got anywhere. So one thing I noticed right there is like the letters crashing. Node, oh no. So we need to make sure we actually get X as well. So I'm gonna say, where is it? This file's got quite messy. I think I'm gonna split it up in a second. How am I deciding what components go in the web versus the UI? Basically, this particular component, I may have put it into the UI package. Hey, Beepo. And it probably should go into the UI package, to be honest. Yeah, thinking about it now, basically, I mean, here's the decision. If it's only UI related, put it in UI. If it mixes with any kind of data, then I put it in the web. This I should have made in the UI, and maybe I should just move it over to the UI and create a kind of a general component for it after I get it working. So maybe I'll do that. I'll do an empty string there. Alright, so first thing I noticed was, what's the letter E? Yeah, the letter E is kind of cut off a little bit there because it's right up against the edge. So we can just give it like a really slight padding there, and I think that should avoid that. I'm not sure if it has triggered. I'm gonna give it a second to see if it does get triggered. Alright, the other thing is we should see items showing up, so let's see what's going on with that. Okay. Alright, this is a doable fix, and this has to do with React Modal. Not going to cause what our problem is. Functional components cannot be given refs. So we need to use forward ref, and I guess I don't need to look it up. I can just copy what they were doing here as well. And to be quite honest, maybe I should actually, I spent all this time trying to get all this junk working. I think I should just use this one autocomplete component that I like. It'll be simpler. Here's my menu. But let's see if this fixes it real quick. So we're going to say react.forwardRef. Second is the ref. Yeah, what's up? So now we can pass the ref to the UI component there. We're doing two as any's. So it's Matt. You're following the Stripe GraphQL series, okay? You're trying to generate types from the schema via Apollo CLI. I could download schema, but we won't generate the types. I can find answers why from Googling. So the most recent version of Apollo CLI, or I think it's called Apollo Tools now, if I remember correctly. Not this type of Apollo Tools. Apollo. There we go. Okay, it's called GraphQL Tools. No, that's the wrong package. Just search Apollo CLI. Okay, it's called Apollo Tooling. So I think this is the thing now that you use to generate types, the latest thing. But what I'm going to tell you is I'm liking this package better for generating types right now. I would recommend trying to get this working. any reason in particular why I like it? Yeah, it can download the schema. Basically, it can do what Apollo tooling can do, or what the generate types for that, but it can also generate a ton more stuff. And it's generating, like, I'm using it for the Code Ponder project, and what I'm having it generate for me, let's see, it's in the components over here, is it's actually generating not only the TypeScript types, but the components themselves. So what does that mean? Well, here you go. So instead of using the mutation and query components from Apollo directly, I use this find or create code review post component that it automatically creates for me, and it uses the mutation component underneath the hood. So it just saves you a little bit of time. So like it just does more for you that I really like. Was it React Select that I wanted to use? I feel like this would work out just fine as well. All right, let's just use React Select. Seems fine to me. Revo autocomplete. Yeah, this is gonna actually save a lot of time, and basically we now need to do none of that stuff. So that's gonna be really nice. All right, so we can get rid of all that stuff. I'm just gonna commit real quick in case I do want to go back for some reason. All right. Import select. Let's get the types for it. Hey, tall pants. All right, so the options are value label. So if we have data, I should have kept what I had there, but that's okay. If we have a viewer and we have repository and we have edges. Otherwise, we're gonna just do an empty array. All right, so the value is going to be X, and the label is going to be x.node. No, it's fine. And we'll just toString it. All right, so on change, it's going to pass. Let's see what it looks like. So the value is going to be whatever's passed in, and then an action, we don't care about the action. The value should be the same. I'm pretty sure the value should be happy with this. Let's see what it doesn't like. Value label. like that. There we are. Now it works. Alright, so we have this little select field. We can see the different ones. Say I pick nicely, and it pops up. So I also want to make it so you can get rid of it, slash clear it. Clearable. And we can search it. Am I into honey mustard? Meh. Okay. Alright, so this kid's complaining so much. Let's just fix him real quick. So I know how to fix this with Create React App, but I'm not sure the best way, to do this with server-side rendering. You're a big fan of honey mustard? Alright. With that change, we should get rid of this warning. And we sure did. The other thing is, let's add some spacing. We don't really care why that guy's complaining. All right, so what did I add to the top? So I did two rims there. Should add 2 rims to the input. But I don't think I'm actually passing the style in. So let's take the style. Cool. If you hit command plus period on a squiggly, not being imported, I'll let you import it right there. Yes, you're right. I like that one. The one I've been using more, so I use a mix between that and what is it? Control space. So like for example, let's say I do image. So like I have this little autocomplete window that pops up, or I can bring it up with control space. Or you're right, I can do control period. See, sometimes it does this to me. No code actions available, where it'll let me auto import it if I'm using it here, like control space, whereas control command period like is not bringing up anything here. So I've kind of trained myself to be hitting control space more than control period, and then sometimes I'll just randomly. So that's what I was doing over here. So in app over here, when I had this not imported, right? Oh dang. So control period works there, but control space does not, right? So I just have not been using control period, but that really should be, really what I should do is try control space. If that doesn't work, then do control period. Then if that doesn't work, add it manually, is what should be my rhythm. All right, reload. This looks kind of out of place compared to this thing a little bit. VS Code is stupid. It's a little weird sometimes, a little bit. Alright, so my modal over here, I feel like I could just make it a width of like 450 maybe. What does the form one look like? I think I want the primary variant. Have you had the thing where autocomplete just stops working, or you type it's super laggy until you reload the window, or the thing where Vim mode puts the characters typed like 5 seconds after you type them? Yeah, that does happen from time to time if I like have VS Code open for a long time, or if I'm like overloading my computer with too many things. Try the form variant, it's green. Actually, when I just tried the form variant, for some reason it was gray. What library did you use for the content box? Is this what you're calling the content box? This is using React Select. This guy. Alright. So my only qualm with like moving this down, because like I could make this a height of more like 300 because it's so small, is it gets awkward because this window doesn't fold over. That's kind of funny. When I click this, it moves the scroll bar here. I think the ideal behavior would have this pop underneath. Let's do I mean, that looks good. Maybe I'll just keep it like this for now. I think I should move the save button to down here maybe. I don't know. I think I'll leave it for now, and then at some point figure out what I want to do with it. Just need to add this mutation now. Pretty good submit statement there. So that all happens when we click the save button. Alright, so thing one is we're going to make this async. Variant form in class primary, it's green with a hover effect. I see, so I have to add the primary class to it. Wait, so how do I... So do you actually add a class name of... Well, we can see what you do. Are you talking about... How are you adding a class and a variant? Are you actually adding a class name called primary? I still find it hard to accept that your computer can run OBS without dropping frames, so we have to restart our text editor now and then, or it'll start to lag. Well, it would absolutely not work for me. Before on my old computer, but with this computer I upgraded 32 gigabytes, and that helps so much. Highly recommend. Okay, so you are using class name. Okay. Let's give it a try, see how it looks. So item is possibly null. Change item. So what is the value of this? So this is that. So I want to say dot value. Values possibly null too. Oh, it's possibly an array of items. That's so weird. It's moving my cursor for some reason. I think I just have too much copied on. I think. What's the noise in the background? Sounds like a big fan. Yeah, for whatever reason, the air conditioner is really loud sometimes. It'll come on and come off. Reload VS Code. I don't think it was VS Code. I think I just have a crap ton of stuff on my clipboard. So when I pasted it, I thought I was moving lines, but it was just because it was so much stuff. All right, I don't want to say as any here. I want to say this. Yeah, see, I just have too much on my clipboard, and it's not copying correctly. So undo, undo, save it. So this is not copying. Now we got it on our clipboard, good. Actually, dot value is gonna be that. This is a straight mess, actually. I'm just gonna do the check here because I don't care to pass it on. Do the check over there every time. So it's either null or this edge thing. Return x dot value. All right, that's what we're doing. And we're calling our on change with that. And now we don't have to do all this junk over here. We can just pass it directly in. We have to do node though. No, we don't. We can just pass X directly in. Alright, so the state for this item is this or null. So item is possibly null. Here we're going to say if we don't have an item, return null. And let's import router from there. And let's see if all that junk did anything. Okay, cool. We see our little button here. I think I like the blue button better. I think I'll be alright if I look at this file in a couple weeks. It's a little weird, but I think we'll do alright. Cool. So we have that going. Now let's see if it actually like changes pages like it's supposed to. So we also need to close the modal. That's funny. We can now change the value here to false as the default. And make the background non-interactive. What do you mean by that? You mean because I can scroll like that? I'm okay with them being able to scroll, I think. There's not actually like a very simple way to fix this that I know of, at least. All right, that's our little modal. It now works. Awesome blossom. All right, so things that can happen with this. So we need to add validation to the this form where you create a code review. And by validation, I mean, what happens if I just hit save here, right? Nothing happens. It'd be nice to say these fields are required. That sort of thing. So check out the input field, only goes to here, but it looks like it goes to there. I need to set the width to 100%. At least I think that should do what I want it to. Yep. Only way you know of is to add overflow white none to the body. Yeah, I've seen that before too. That's what I've done in the past, but it's kind of a little bit janky when I've used it, so I've kind of like not wanted to use it a lot, and I'm kind of fine that they can scroll, I think. I'll tell you, I want to see the freaking top of this modal real quick, because these things are off center. That's what I thought. Center. Hey Pat, I do not speak Spanish at all, but I do recognize hola. Yep, that did fix it. These are now in line. You said what's up? Sweet. Well, I think I'm actually just about done for today. What we did is we set up this little modal. So now if I want to add a code review, I just have a little modal that pops up. You can pick a title that we want. And then it creates one for that repository. All right, so let's commit our code. Alpha Man says he builds Node.js and PHP. Nice. Which one do you like better? And why are you using both? Will you be streaming this afternoon? No. I think this is going to be the end for today. Forgot I was going to add the image to the header. You write PHP to remind yourself how great it is to write JavaScript, even when it's not so great. The timestamps are wrong again. It looks like I just didn't refresh the page. Let me add that. That's something I need to do in general, is just update the cache. Does it work for you, One Man? It looks like on my time zone it did, and I went ahead and I did the change that you were talking about. And I set the timestamps, or time zones with the timestamps. Alright, so I think I'm just about done streaming. Unless you guys have any other questions, we'll call it a day. Close those. You're welcome, Kralum or Feed. I use PHP when I don't need anything too fancy, and I use Node when I need to do something strange like CLI apps and stuff. Nice. Alright guys, I'm out. See you guys later. Thanks for coming to the stream today. You guys have a good day too.